What is up, guys? How y'all doing today? Welcome back to the channel for another episode of Retro Review. So I took the San Francisco 49ers through a season here. So it's our season summary and pregame show. So what I did was I took the 49ers through a season using all backups with the exception of Tom Rathman. Okay, so here was our starting lineup. Harry Sidney was our starting tailback. Okay, so Rathman was in there, but our wide receivers was Mike Wilson and Mike Sherrard and Jamie Williams at tight end. Okay, and of course Steve Young at quarterback. So I had to basically handicapped the team. Pretty much all I could. I kept Rathman in there because he ain't very fast anyway. So yeah. But as you can see here on the homepage, we did go undefeated, 16-0, right? So you might think, well, dang, you still had a cakewalk with him. It's like, well, actually, no, not really. Not every game was a cakewalk. I got all the scores here, game by game, and a few notes here. So let's just go ahead and go over that first. Okay. Now, our first game of the year against the Giants, we kicked their butt. We beat them 56-6. I got on here, Sherrard had 5 catches, 240 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Sidney, 11 carries, 140 yards, and a touchdown. Sims was 1 of 6 for 67 yards and a touchdown. So, yeah, Phil Sims completed 1 pass for a 67-yard touchdown, and that's it. We dominated. Week 2 against the Chargers. Steve Young against the Giants. Steve Young had 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Okay. Week 2 against the Chargers, we beat them 34-14. Griffin had 2 interceptions. Darryl Pollard had 1 interception. Mike Kofer was 2 for 2 on field goals. Steve Young, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Week 3 against the Vikings. This was a tough game. We beat them 21-17. Young didn't have any touchdowns or interceptions. He only had 198 yards passing. Yeah, against the Vikings, we was down 17-0 at halftime. Okay, but we battled back in the second half. Rathman scored the go-ahead touchdown with 109 remaining. Kofor did miss a field goal. Oh, yeah, okay. I was explaining why we was down in the first half. Yeah, Kofor missed a field goal. We had a lot of third and longs in the first half. We'd get some of it, but then, not enough. So punt on 4th down. That's how I play. I try to play kind of like they would in real life. Like if it's 4th down and you're on the field, you're gonna punt. That's just the way it is. So that's just kind of I try to bring some realism to the game. Okay, so we did get past the Vikings though, 21-17. Tough game. Next game against the Rams, we won 21-20. Okay, so here, look at these back-to-back games. We had to come back. Yeah. Let's see. Against the Rams again, we were down 10-0 at the half. Sherrard did have a 50-yard touchdown, and we were still down 20-14 with 2 minutes remaining. Yeah, the Rams did drive down, and it looked like they was going to win the game, right? It's like we was looking at defeat here. But yeah, we were down 20-14, but we came back and we got a touchdown and we went up 21-20. But the Rams did. We did leave time on the clock. The Rams did drive down to the 10-yard line, right? And with just a few seconds left, they was going to kick a field goal, and that would have won the game for them. But Bill Romanowski blocked the field goal, and that preserved the win. So there you go. Probably our closest game that come down like that. Next week against the Raiders, we beat them 38-21. Sherrard, 4 catches, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns. Steve Young had 4 touchdowns, no picks. It was 14-14 at the half. But Schrader did have 3 interceptions. Bo had a decent game, 195 yards and 2 touchdowns. But during the course of the game, Bo, Greg Bell, Tim Brown, and our guy, Mark Wilson, got injured. So 3 Raiders and 1 Niner got injured in this game. So it was a brutal game. Okay, next game against the Falcons, we beat them 35-14. Young had 2 touchdowns, no picks. Sidney had 9 runs for 90 yards and a touchdown. Sherrard, 3 catches, 97 yards and a touchdown. Next game against the Lions, okay, another blowout, 55-14. Young had 2 touchdowns, 100% completed, 215 yards. Sherrard had 3 catches, 177 yards, and 2 touchdowns. We did have 15 runs for 145 yards. Sidney had 9 of those carries for 75 yards. The defense had at least 10 sacks and 2 interceptions. So we dominated the Lions. Alright, next game against the Eagles. Pretty close. We won 28-23. Let's see, Sidney had 9 carries, 146 yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns. But we was down 23-14 in the 4th quarter, so see, we had to do another comeback. Our rematch against the Falcons, we won 28-10. Rathman had 2 runs for 66 yards and a touchdown. So he had kind of a big day for him. Sherrard had a 1 catch for a 58-yard touchdown. Miller was only 50% for 125 yards and a touchdown. And we only gave up 3 points because Atlanta's 1 touchdown was from a fumble recovery, scoop and score. Okay, next week against the Saints, we won 45-16. Young had 2 touchdowns, no picks. Sidney had 12 rushes for 116 yards. Sherrard, 2 catches, 136 yards, and a touchdown. Next game against the Cardinals, we won 31-17. Sherrard, 3 catches, 97 yards, and a touchdown. That's it. No more notes. Okay, another game against the Rams. We won 28-21. Young had 3 touchdowns, no picks. Sherrard, 3 catches, 141 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So yeah, if you can't tell by already, Sherrard was our big play guy. Against the Saints, another game against the Saints, we won 35-23. Okay, Matt Millen sacked Steve Walsh, and he was injured. Walsh got hurt. Young had a good day, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 100% completed. Steve Young completed 100% of his passes against the Saints. Next game against the Seahawks. It was actually a close game. We won 31-27. And I thought this was going to be our first loss too, because we were down 27-17 in the 4th quarter. So yeah, we was down 27-17 in the 4th quarter, but we did come back and we made it 24-27. So we still was down 3. We needed the ball back. Our defense got it back because our defense intercepted Wade Wilson with 30 seconds to go in the game. Okay, on their side of the field. And then Steve Young hit Mike Wilson for a game-winning touchdown with 18 seconds left. There you go. But our last game against the Bears, we did whip them pretty good, 35-7. Sherrard had 4 catches, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, Steve Young had 9 runs for 63 yards and a touchdown. Yeah. Harbaugh, he only completed 40% for 51 yards, 2 interceptions. Yeah, this was a nice note I made. Our last play of the season, right? Our last point scored, and our last play of the season was, Steve Young was scrambling. Thought it looked like he was going to get another rushing touchdown, but he was hit at the 1-yard line. He fumbled the ball. The ball bounced into the end zone just barely, like just across the goal line. But Guy McIntyre jumped on it and recovered it for a touchdown for us. So Guy McIntyre, our offensive lineman, go to him right here. Scored our last points of the season, right? In that crazy play. So yeah, that was very noteworthy. All right, so there's our games there. So we had some blowouts, but we also did have some close games too. All right, so let's go over the stats here of our players. So as you can see, Joe Montana did not play, no stats. So Steve Young played every game. So here we go. Steve Young completed 76% of his passes for 3,266 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. He also did have 35 runs, 262 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Most of his runs came later on in the season, basically when like receivers are covered more. Like I remember, like 6 games in, right? He had like 2 runs. It's like, so yeah, I definitely don't play that style unless it's like I said, it's necessary. If everybody's covered, then I'll probably run with him. But I'll still throw. Every now and then I'll throw it up, and take a chance even if they are covered. Okay, Roger Craig did not play because, like I said, we're all backups here. So, except for Tom Rathman. So, Tom Rathman, 28 runs, 200 yards, solid 7.1 yard average, 8 rushing touchdowns, 15 receptions for 206 yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. So, Tom Rathman, he filled in, he helped out. He wasn't our main guy, but he, mainly the blocker. But, he also contributed as well. When his number was called, Dexter Carter, our return guy, 43 kickoff return, 771 yards, a 17-yard average on kickoffs, and 11 punt returns for 204 yards, 18.5-yard average on punts. Okay, here's our starting tailback for the season, Harry Sidney. He had 164 carries for 1,051 yards, a 6.4 yard average, and 29 rushing touchdowns. I think he was the league leader in touchdowns. Also grabbed 17 catches for 313 yards and 2 more touchdowns. So Harry Sidney, he's getting some Pro Bowl votes, right? Taylor, nope. Rice, nope. All right. Our starting wide receiver, Mike Wilson, I'm going to say he had a so-so year. Like I said, he did have the game-winning touchdown against the Vikings, right? But he had 25 catches for 582 yards and 5 receiving touchdowns. But this is the man right here, Mike Sherrard. He lit it up, right? Check this out. 42 catches, 1,788 yards. A 42.5 yard average, and 23 receiving touchdowns. We'll go to the league leaders and see if he led just in about every category, except receptions. I know he didn't lead receptions because that's always hard to get, But man, what a season, Mike Sherrard. I don't remember really having a season like this, especially for a backup player, right? I'm sure I know that one season I took the Packers through and really focused on getting Sterling Sharp just went for the record, basically force-fed the ball to Sharp almost. I'm sure we, had better numbers, but I'm just saying, just playing normal, right? I didn't force it to Sherrard, but he was just open uh, a lot more than anyone else was. So just playing normal and throwing it to the open guy, yeah, Sherrard was the man. It's like, wow, he had a great season. Definitely, he definitely is going to the Pro Bowl. Brent Jones, nothing. We didn't play him. And our tight end, Jamie Williams, 19 catches, 377 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. So he ain't great. He's only got 31. He's on average right now, 31 receptions and 19 maximum speed. So he's not, rated very good. But hey, he put up some numbers despite his lack of talent there. He also did some kickoff and punt return for us too when Dexter Carter got hurt. Our kicker, Mike Kofer, he hit all 75 extra points, and he was 10 out of 13 on field goals for the season. Barry Hilton, 3 punts, 172 yards. Yeah, I was thinking about you, David, if you're watching this, man. I'm going to say it's my fault. I didn't line it up good, but I was just thinking about you talking about Kofer before, about how he could suck sometimes, and it's like when those few misses, and I was like, oh, your words was going through my mind. I was like, oh, yikes! I normally don't, I normally about hit every kick, just about, but it's like, oh, okay, I missed one, and then it's like a few games later, it's like, crap, I missed another one. It's like, maybe there is something to this. It's like even Retro was struggling a little bit with Mike Kofer there. But all right, let's go to the defense. Kevin Fagan, he had 3 sacks. Michael Carter had 9 sacks. Pierce Holt had 13 sacks. Bill Romanowski, 2 sacks. Keith DeLong had 3 sacks. And Matt Millen had 3 sacks. Charles Haley had 6 sacks. And let's continue here. Don Griffin had 5 interceptions for 11 yards return. Daryl Pollard, or is it Pollard? 5 interceptions for 24 yards. Ronnie Lott, 2 interceptions for 30 yards return. Yeah, one was the 30-yard return. I thought maybe he was going to get a touchdown with him, but he got tackled. But his other interception was he got tackled immediately. And Dave Weimer had 2 interceptions for 28-yard return. So yeah, not only did I handicap the offense like I did, but also basically I'm going to say handicap the defense. What I mean by that is I did not allow myself to control Charles Haley because he is a dominant player, or Ronnie Lott or Dave Weimer. Those are the 2 best defensive guys in the backfield. So I would control anybody else on the front 7 besides Haley. And when I was covering, I would control either Don Griffin or Daryl Pollard. So there you go. So I handicapped myself on defense too. And then also, again, playing the style that I do of picking run on 1st and 2nd down. That's when I control the defensive back and cover. And then on 3rd down, I will pick pass and control the front 7 and try to rush the quarterback, right? That's my playing style. So with all that, right, with all those limitations, we still went undefeated with these Niners. So yeah, that's something to be maybe that's an accomplishment on its own for the regular season. So okay, let's go to our league leaders here. Steve Young, number 1 rated quarterback in the league, with a rating of 212.4. Wow. The next closest is 168.9, Phil Simms. But I still think Young could have had a better season, Well, I think I had a better season with Tony Easton on the Jets than Young here. But hey, every season's different, right? But again, I was using Al Toon and Rob Moore to throw to with the Jets. Young had Sherrard and Wilson. I mean, Sherrard's pretty decent, but Wilson's he's definitely a drop off. Yeah, so Easton had better targets to throw to. Okay. All right, yeah, let's go to the receiving here. I know I ain't up there with the catches. Maybe Okay, even on receptions, I'm number 9. But let's go to yards. There we go. Mike Sherrard, number 1 in yards. Beat out Haywood Jeffries by over 300 yards. So, booyah, right? How about yards per reception? Yep, Mike Sherrard, 42 and a half. Hilliard of the Saints is 31.3. Oh, wait, let's go back. Yep. And receiving touchdown. There he is, Mike Sherrard, number 23 touchdowns. Sterling Sharp was the next closest with 16. So I figured he was going to be up there in most of the categories there. All right, let's go to rushing. How did Sidney do? There he is, number 8. Number 8 running back in the league, Harry Sidney. Oh, yeah. Let's go to his. I was going to say, he's up there with attempts because we gave it to him. 164 attempts. Only Marion Butts and Neil Anderson had more. Let's go to yards per attempt. Probably not going to be up there with that because, yeah. But let's go to touchdowns. There he is, 29 rushing touchdowns. The next closest is Herschel Walker with 18. Wow. That might be my record for rushing touchdowns for a running back. There's Helton. We had the best punter in the league. Best average. How about the sacks? We're not going to be up there with sacks with my playing style, right? Because we cut, like I said, we pick run and cover on, pick run on first and second down all the time. Kickoff returns. I guess Carter's only 14, so he didn't have that great. What about punt returns? Now Carter, yeah, there he is, number 1 on punts, 18.5 yard average. Let's see, interceptions. Wow, Everson Walls had 12. Mayhew, okay. And scoring. There we are, Harry Sidney, leading scorer of the league, 31 total touchdowns. I'm usually up there, but I'm usually not number 1. But hey, we got number 1 this time. And look, Sherrard's there at number 3. Our tailback and receiver in the top 5. So how about that? And there's Mike Cooper there, number 12. First kicker to show up. Okay, guys, so there's the season summary. Oh, wait, here's the rankings. Offensively, we had the number 6 offense in the league. Number 6 passing. Number 20 rushing. Defense, we had number 2 defense in the league. Number 2 passing and number 13 against the run. Okay, so there you go. Here's the division standings. Dolphins won the division 10-6. Buffalo's in at 9-7. Bengals won the division 10-6. Steelers and Oilers are in the playoffs. In the West, the Seattle Seahawks won the division. Yeah, this was a very kind of a different year because you see the Redskins won the division here, 13-3. Eagles and Giants in the playoffs. This surprised me and may surprise you guys too. And I did not interfere. I had no part of this, right? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the division at 10-6. I'm like, wow. I'm like, seriously? It's like, I'm gonna say like, I hate to say never, but I at least will say almost never see that. They're always at the bottom. Rarely even make the playoffs unless you interfere, right? But yeah, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, division champs at 10-6 on their own, and the only team from the Central in the playoffs. And here we go. There's 16-0, and the Saints are in at 9-7. So I already played the games, simulated the games. So the Bills beat the Steelers in the wild card and moved on to play the Bengals in the division round, which they beat the Bengals 34-28. The Seattle Seahawks beat the Oilers in the wild card 21-14. That was a shock. But then the Dolphins beat the Seahawks 31-14 in the divisional round. So it's Dolphins, Bills, AFC Championship. Over here, the Eagles got beat by the Giants 20-17. The Redskins, though, beat the Giants 31-28. And the Buccaneers beat the Saints 30-7. And so that is our opponent tonight. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, San Francisco 49ers, divisional playoff. I don't think you've probably heard that too many times concerning this game. All right. So that is going to be our game tonight. So hope you guys will tune in for that. All right. So sorry for trying to go through it as quick as I can. Sorry for a long video. But so that's going to do it for this video. We'll see you tonight. Usually 8:15 or 9. Usually 9 p.m. Eastern time. Only on Wednesdays is it 8:15. Okay. So there you go. So we'll hope to see you tonight. Okay. So anyways, guys, thanks once again for joining me. Leave me your thoughts and comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But if this is your first time to the channel, tap subscribe, then the bell ding ding so you're notified when I upload new videos. So until next time, guys, keep it retro and come Lord Jesus. And liftoff. We have liftoff. Challenger has cleared the tower.